the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Live today here at the local congregation of Redwood City. I am joined here today with some special panelists, and today we have an amazing topic that we're going to be talking about. Today's topic, we're going to be diving deep in regards about artificial intelligence, AI. But first, before we start off with talking about AI, I want to introduce not just myself, I'm Brother Miguel, but our panelists today. We have a lot of similar faces, but we also have some new guests that's going to be joining us today. So I'll start off with our sister, and then brother, and then our new panelists.
All right, and good evening to everyone tuning in tonight for INCRadio Silicon Valley, California. I'm Sister Jill Navasca, joining you tonight.
Good evening, SVC. I'm Brother Glean from the locale of Salinas.
I'm the new face today. I'm Brother Ian Zagabayan, also from the locale of Redwood City.
Yes.
Nice. So today's topic is going to be a very exciting one. Today we're going to be talking about AI. So for those that don't know, AI is artificial intelligence, right?
It is.
And whenever we think of AI, we think of different things. We can think of movies or even just the things that we use on a daily basis. But of course, it's a new technology, and it's something that a lot of as people, especially where we're at right now at Silicon Valley, is the hot topic of what we're talking about. So if we can kind of get a breakdown of Brother Ian, I know you have a lot of technical background when it comes to, tech and everything. I was wondering if you can give an intro of what you do, and then also what is AI?
Yeah. I'm born and raised here in Silicon Valley. Been to a lot of tech companies. I graduated from San Jose State with a graphic design degree. Right now, I have a full-time job at big tech, doing UX design, user experience design. By nature of my job, I'm exposed to using a lot of AI tools. So I watch a lot of movies, and so, like everyone here in the audience too has like a really broad sense. Sometimes a scary sense, sometimes, or just you don't know what it is. My presence here is to help alleviate those kind of concerns, or just kind of like questions that you might have about AI. Is there a specific question that I could start with, like kind of defining what AI is?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Talk about
Artificial intelligence. Artificial, fake, but intelligence. Like if you had to describe to a child, right? And you tell them directions, and then they learn from them, and then like if you were to tell them again, they would do the act kind of like a little bit differently because they kind of learned from previous encounters, right? So it's kind of the same thing. Instead of a child, in this case, it's a computer, right? If you try to tell it to, in this case, like say you have a microwave, 30-second, you know how microwave work, but then like say like every morning it kind of senses that you at 6:45 you warm up your coffee, and then like there's this like new technology that kind of like figures that out. That's kind of AI. It's kind of learning from like your past experience.
Oh, I see.
Doing it for you, right? And that's why I say like don't be afraid. It's a cool technology because it's here to help out our lives. I use it all the time. I use it for I guess I'll get into that later, but I don't know if there's any.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. AI is something that we're all like adjusted to, and especially we all have.
Do we kind of know like when it sort of really kick-started in this industry, like in the technology sector? We've heard it, we've seen it in movies, right? But then when do you think it really came into play?
And you know what? And a lot of people think that like it's kind of recent, especially in the past year or so.
Yeah.
It's totally not true. If you have your phone, example of like AI that you kind of use now is with the predictive text. Like if you're texting and like giving you recommendations, that's AI.
Oh,
Or
okay.
like and then
Okay.
a little bit after that, like if you're writing an email and it kind of like recommends like a draft for you, that's also AI too.
Yeah. So it has been around, right? So why, as we were talking about it,
Mhm.
it's suddenly kind of a hot topic. It's really then we've heard in news and a lot of the companies sort of putting in more investment into that technology. Why do you know if do you think there was something that kickstarted it? Was there something that really kind of pushed it to like be a bit more, I guess, mainstream
Yeah.
in a way where we constantly it's in the news, in the daily cycle news.
And it's my hot take. It's, I think, two reasons.
Mhm.
One is it's cheaper now, right? Like the
I
technology. We'll
see.
talk about Nvidia and like giving new chips. But then
Yes, yes, new
also,
graphics
like
cards.
they're getting more efficient with the tech. And then two, um, yeah, doesn't mean being biased as a UX designer, but like the experience using AI, it's a lot more friendly than before. So like the tech of AI, it is like super brainy. Like there's like a lot of things that like kind of overwhelms like, even myself, the audience. But then people are realizing the value of like the real life value of using AI, and so that's why it's kind of like more pervasive. Like it's every company is trying to do like their
Mhm.
own like image generation, right? Like
Yeah.
you don't have to do like stock photography anymore. You just like type in like prompt and like they'll generate that stuff for you.
For sure, for sure. And that's a really great point. But I want to bring it back to the comment section and our chat. Right here, I want to give a quick read out some different comments from our district minister, Pod Noel. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our INCRadio Silicon Valley, California. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you so much, Paul. And Sister Michelle, thank you. Tonight, I asked AI for suggestions on what ulam to make with pork belly. Hopefully, you're able to get those suggestions in using those AI and different chat bots. No, that's actually a really great question and a really great segue about AI. So now that AI is becoming more mainstream and more user friendly, like you said, uh, a lot of benefits is being used, especially with the different websites that we can use. We can use AI to ask it like, "Oh, can you help us make? Do you have any ingredients for certain recipes? Oh, I need help automating this task." So anything is like really user or speaking more user friendly. So I was wondering, have you all used AI in that sense of like just in daily life?
Actually, you bring up a really great point, Brother Miguel. I think now to the point has, I guess you can say, diversified. And there's different and specific AIs you can use for really specific things. I know for us, we have AIs that maybe can help us with our homework,
Yes.
summarize this text, or even like our sister that mentioned, AIs maybe that focus more on food.
Yeah.
So I guess, Brother Ian, I guess we can ask you, how can we like use AI and how can we like use it properly? I guess.
Exactly. Thank you for saying properly.
Properly, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
properly.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
certainly it could be abused.
Yes.
Top tip is use it as a tool. Don't use it like at face value. I often use it as a first draft of everything, right? So like at
Mm.
work, I have to like draft a lot of documents. I'll give it a prompt like, "Hey Gemini, help me start this type of document here, like some context or whatever, some
Mhm.
bullet points," and it does a really good job.
Yes.
But then you read it and you're like, "Oh, it misses the mark on some points." But then like I will make those corrections, but then I also rewrite it in my personal voice. And
I
it's
see.
kind of what I said earlier about it being it's like helps me with like shortcuts. People like, "Hey Ian, how'd you generate this like so fast?" I'm like,
Yeah.
I got you.
For sure, for sure. So it's definitely a tool that could be helpful in a way, but also can be in a way, like you said, you have to take it at face value. And I was wondering, regarding that, how we properly use AI and why so many companies are investing in it. I was wondering, there's a lot of aspects when it comes to AI, and I was wondering if anyone want to jump in. When it comes to like our homework and especially with school and then all that, there's actually it's really kind of like a double-edged sword. We wanted if we were talking about like the ethics of using this new technology. So a lot of younger students use AI when not even just helping them with their homework, but actually it just does it for them. So it just sometimes it does their essays for them, helps them use it on like exams and stuff. So I was
There's
wondering what's your thoughts on that.
there's definitely dangers, I think, when you're just speaking about drafting something. I think what everyone has to sort of as you said, don't take it at face value. You have to review your work still. You can't just say, here, it's done. AI did it for me, and not put in the work still, right?
At the end of the day, your name's attached to the work that you submit or distribute or whatever. So that's why you're on the hook, right?
Yeah.
Again, I say use it as a tool. But oh man, it does like a lot of
It does a lot.
heavy lifting for you. Like there'll be like personal example for me.
Yeah.
Like I was like reviewing contracts for my homeowners association. Home.
For sure.
And well, it was like 11 p.m. and like my brain was fried. I couldn't like
Yes.
read and like these are like legalese or whatever. But then like I'll do things where like take a screenshot of my screen, drop it into Gemini, like hey Gemini, I'm tired. I'll straight up say like I'm tired. I can't understand this.
Wow.
Help me understand this, and then bullet points these things out. I'm like,
Oh, I
okay.
see. I see.
And like I'll do like things further. Like I have to like mail like my neighbors.
Yeah.
What would you say? What would you
Oh, I
subject line?
see. I
And
see.
then it does a really good job, and like it helps like spark because it's you have that whole thing about that first step of like starting a project is like
It's always the
It's a
hardest.
roadblock.
Always
Yeah,
the
there's
hardest.
always-
Yeah.
Gemini to do that.
Yeah,
And like
It's a
that
good
level's gone.
starter then.
Yeah,
It's a very
Yeah,
good
good
starter
starter, yeah.
to like get those juices rolling.
Mhm,
As a creative, I kind of get that point where like,
mhm.
how do I get creative? But then if you have like that tool to just jumpstart your creativity,
Mhm.
I think sort of really gives you a ton of ideas that you can work off from.
For sure. For sure.
I actually wanted to jump in on, I guess you could say, the other side of that double-edged sword. As students, I know it might be tempting to take the easy way out
Yeah.
and to, ChatGPT, do my essay, ChatGPT, or I'm sorry, or this certain AI,
Yeah,
this AI tool, can you do my homework for me?
Yeah.
But it kind of takes away from your learning experience, and
For
I'm pretty sure you need those skills.
Boundaries, yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I use
Oh.
it again
Yeah.
as a tool because it
Okay.
helps me sometimes like the way that it's conveyed in my textbooks or whatever
Mhm.
it's kind of I'm not in the mood for it or like you have some sort of like
Mhm.
learning handicap or whatever the case.
Okay.
Mhm, Yeah.
The way like I use it is just
Oh.
like redraft that content in a way that makes sense. So like you'll hear often like explain it to me like I'm a fourth grader.
Yeah.
No-
Or like say
oh.
like I'm
Oh,
tired.
that's
or
interesting,
Things like
yeah.
that. Right?
That
Yeah,
is
yeah.
actually a really good way to
Yeah.
put it, especially if you're maybe hours in trying to understand some kind of material where you could rewrite it so you could understand it a little better.
Mhm.
It just sometimes saves you time. But I think we have a couple questions that came in our comments. So let's see.
Yeah,
Let's what are some of the question comments that we have received? That's Wenzel.
I see Wenzel.
And his question is, who owns what AI creates? Is there such?
Oh.
That's above my pay
That-
grade.
It's a very
Wenzel, sorry,
who
ask
owns what-
AI.
Yeah.
And then Gus also asks, create a positive comment. Oh, Gus, thank you for the
Fourth wall.
Gus being funny. Okay, so let me finish Gus's comment. He says, create a message to greet viewers of a live radio broadcast about AI.
Wow. Really
Aw.
breaks the fourth wall there.
And then we have Yanessa, who's a comment. She says, AI is good when you want it to generate practice 101 chemistry practice tests.
Yeah.
Good way to practice, have them generate. Okay, and then we have also from Sister Michelle Vasquez. She says, some educators foresee school assignments, exams be fully handwritten because of the onset of AI and plagiarism.
And I have a follow-up story to that too. Job interviews
Yeah.
at tech.
Yes.
I think they're trying to do this big push about having them done in person now because apparently you could do
Oh.
that with AI like in the
Yes.
browser window.
Yes.
And so you could like do your interviews for you. And so like if you do it, I guess to try to
So there's a browser, and then they're listening.
Yeah.
AI's listening into
Or
the
like-
conversation.
just straight up just like chat like
Oh. All right.
oh
So
sorry.
Oh.
Can you hear me now? Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
you were saying follow up on the on what we were just talking about, so that everyone can hear what you just said.
What was my point?
Interview.
Oh right,
Right,
so
push the
yes,
interview.
to have it done like in person because it's hard to like bring up like ChatGPT or Gemini and on the spot or
Yeah.
whatever. So they do want you to write it on the whiteboard because to kind of make sure that you don't do like this kind of shady business with having AI
Wow,
answer
they-
your questions for you.
yeah. Okay, I think we have another one. Okay, so we have Helena. She says, yes, the key for the correct way to use the internet is to have a good mindset. Hashtag Salinas. Thank you, Salinas, for tuning in.
Thanks, Salinas, for
So,
tuning in.
as always, there's always some kind of, oh, I think limitations or parameters that it needs to be set when using AI, you know, and that's just in general, I think, you know, whether you're using it to create a resume. I know AI, like I was on LinkedIn, you know, preparing my resume, and it always asked me, "Do you want us to rewrite your
Yeah,
resume?"
yeah.
And you're like, "Okay, let's see what AI can do for my resume. Does it make it better?" I don't know if it really did. It was okay, I think, but it does pull out a lot of good words that I didn't use in my previous resume draft. So I did pull in some of those really good like alternative words that really help, you know, shine a light onto my resume.
It helps like unlock like other thoughts that you weren't trying. It's hard to convey. And then
Yes.
like AI is it's a machine, but then it's like it clear as day for it. And it just tells you straight like, oh, on top of that too, it's
Mhm.
like it doesn't have any feelings
As
as of now. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, don't be mean to AI because you know, just have good
you know,
manners.
you know,
That-
they're testing
good Christian.
AI, right? They're,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
they're
exactly.
making
Oh,
yeah,
that's exactly
they're
it. Because
throwing-
yeah,
they're trying to throw it off, right?
yeah. Yeah, they're taking that data because it's like to my earlier point, it's learning from you. So if you're kind of being abusive towards the AI, it's it'll reciprocate eventually. So don't do it. Just be nice. Be good
Whoa.
citizens.
Yes.
Yes.
No good uses of AI. Yeah. Don't
For sure.
abuse. Yes.
For sure. And then, you know, I was wondering, I really want to know your thoughts about this certain issue. So we kind of talked about how AI can be used for a lot of it. It's really beneficial. It's a really great tool. And also it could be also a tool that can really set people back, you know, and set people really can really abuse it, like you said.
Mhm.
So I was wondering, especially for those that are the young ones that really are kind of becoming more ingratiated with AI. I was wondering, what are your thoughts about like how to limit it and how to like you said, instead of using it for everything, they're now using it. They're trying to put limits and parameters on it. So how do we ourselves use AI in a very limited way, but as a tool rather than not just overly using it?
Yeah, I mean, well, I have my counterpoint is
Yeah, yeah.
actually keep using it, but then to my what I just said earlier, just be good Christians about it, right?
Mhm,
And
yeah.
just be don't abuse it, don't use it to scam, for
Yeah.
example.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't use it
Right.
to you know, write hate mail, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's because that's where the concern is. Like, I think when you think of like the boogeyman or whatever, it's that where those people will use it for like nefarious deeds or
Mhm,
whatever.
mhm.
But it really shouldn't be that way.
Mhm.
Just kind of be super mindful the way that you're using it. Again, to that earlier point too, it's learning from us. So like whenever we're being not nice, like it will kind of show up in the corpus of like AI data.
I guess, brother Ian, one of our questions is definitely for the people who don't have like that good mindset, like our sister was saying. What should we watch out when people do or misuse AI? Because I know right now on social media, they what do they call it? Deep fakes
Yeah.
and things that mimic the voices of very famous people, or even right now, it's like videos.
Yeah.
It's not perfect, but it could get to a point where it's like they can copy it like perfectly. So, what are some tips you have for the brethren in like sort of picking apart the misinformation from, I guess, made from AI?
Yeah. Yeah, good point. It's you know, gut feeling, I guess, because you could sense if it's like fake. It's probably fake. Always like check your sources. I mean, like if you use Gemini or Chat GPT, it actually tells you like where the sources are. But we're talking for like deep fakes, where you see like you know, like a celebrities like promoting like cryptocurrency or whatever, and like that seems kind of sus. Then
Yeah.
don't like, you know, take that with a grain of salt always for everything. Like even if it's AI, just in general, like if you're getting like those emails from like you're inheriting money, that's you know, that with a grain of salt as
And
well.
I do want to say that, you know, your earlier point is that we were talking about not abusing AI and being respectful. And I think just that's just in general for, you know, for us, we have to have that, I guess, moral compass, right? If we are writing our papers with the help of chat, you know, with AI, it's like we have to still put in the work. We
Mhm.
can't depend on it, whatever it is that we are doing, we have to still be responsible for the work. Our name, as you mentioned, we're attached to that work. So again, be respectful, and again, it's not going into that abuse of a tool. I want to I know we're talking about a lot of tech here, but there's a good comment here about how they use AI. So it came from Danny Belong. We use AI in healthcare to help nurses and
Wow.
doctors provide care to patients. It helps elevate helps elevate and human limitations. AI is not only for creating funny images. So
For
that is
sure, yeah.
that's an awesome, I guess, comment, because in healthcare,
Yes.
imagine how quickly doctors have to think, or and nurses in the care that they have to provide in these situations. So to have a tool that kind of helps to speed that care along, and hopefully, and sometimes, we're all humans, get overwhelmed. And I think in a healthcare situation or in healthcare industry, sometimes speed, time is
Really matters.
really matters in that situation. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it actually brings up like this whole thing about also mental health. If you're
Yeah.
looking for someone to converse with, like a sounding wall or whatever, I've actually used AI in the past to
Mm.
talk through a problem with me.
Oh, so it helps. Does it help get your problems out? and
Yeah,
everything?
because like it helps me when I vocalize it. I'll vocalize it by typing it out,
Mhm.
and then it tells me it's very objective, right? It's a
Yeah.
robot, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't care,
Oh.
like it doesn't have like historical like biases or whatever.
Mhm.
So when it's basically processing my words and then just kind of like redrafting it, and then
Mm.
maybe taking some advice, like from. But what it does sometimes, it just like asks me follow-up questions, and like sometimes
Oh, it helps you think
It
further,
helps you
Yeah.
think
that-
further.
or
Yeah.
like really
Yeah.
think through the problem in
Yeah.
a way that you probably were blocked somehow,
yeah,
right?
again, it's a tool, so
Yes.
don't use it as like, if it tells you to like it's cancerous or something, go like talk to a
See
doctor or whatever.
Go
Yeah.
see a doctor about
Yeah.
it. No, that. But there are certain ways that has kind of helped you just talk, and it's true. You just sometimes have to talk it out or talk it through, certain things. And if for whatever reason you have only AI with you for that day, that's still a tool that can help you.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, it's honestly amazing of what this type of technology that has come throughout, just even within like the first 2 or 3 years, I feel like that it became really mainstream, especially for a lot of folks that are tuning in. I'm sure that we have at least one or two encounters where have used AI and different chatbots to help us out with different like items and stuff in life. So I wanted to kind of close it off and ask all of us, what is your favorite way of using AI? And then maybe a quick sentence, and maybe we can also ask the chat as well. What are some ways that you use AI in your everyday lives? So,
Okay, I'll go ahead and start. Writing is my weak point,
mhm.
and so sometimes I'm writing and I have to run it through a tool, because I will write it out and I think it sounds good. And I think it sounds good, and I run it through and I'm like, oh, that sounds even better. Like it's less word. I'm so wordy in my writing, and
Mhm.
and writing was never like a strong suit for me.
For sure.
So having that tool is so helpful to just make it more concise at times.
Mhm.
Less wordy. Limit. Someone's kind of editing my work in a way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. How about you, brother Ian?
Yeah, I'll actually bounce off that. Where I'll ask it to help me draft a reply or something to an email. Or sorry, like, this is what I was saying earlier about like it helps me because it could pretend to be anything or anyone it wants to be. Where like maybe I'm like kind of heated and like I have to send like a really stern email to going back to my neighbors again. I'll ask Gemini, like, pretend you're my neighbors. How would you respond to this email? And like, it's just like me in my raw form writing the email, and it'll tell me like, oh yeah, you're kind of being rough. This is how I'd word it, and then it would redraft the whole email from them. Like, oh man, that's very PC. And like
Yes.
that's
Oh,
I
nice.
see. How about you, brother Glenn?
There was actually this AI I came across through, I think it was like some sponsorship from a YouTube video, where it was sort of like a virtual assistant. I know a lot of us can use assistants sometimes with organizations, but what's really cool with it, it's sort of, you can just kind of speak to it and it just does it for you. So you can be like, I have to walk the dog at this time, and then I have to go to this church activity, and it sort of goes to the point where it even like puts them in different like blocks and different times. And I'm not sure if I can share it because we're not sponsored, but just like that tool, I definitely want to implement more in my life because we could all use a little bit more organization.
Yeah.
And just to bounce off of that idea, definitely I used AI almost every day in regards to just organizing my life, scheduling, helping out with like my school assignments when it comes to like where I don't know what to do and everything. So definitely 100%. But I really want to see what the chat has to say, and then be able to kind of understand uh, what
So,
what type of questions they have.
yeah, so as we're waiting for a few of our chat, why don't we go ahead and take a look? See, Kuya Tech, we have a few of our past activities that we would like to take a look at. I believe we're gonna start off with our CWS Teachers and Officers Appreciation. This happened on Sunday, March 16th. So we're looking at some of our photos now from that activity.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
It's a very nice get together for our CWS officers. And then our next activity that we are going to look at, this is from the local congregation of Salinas. I believe this is their bread making activity this past Sunday as well. And it was pandesal, right? This is Glenn, you're from
Is that
Salinas.
pandesal?
Did you have some pandesal?
Shout out Sister Jen Magana. And she taught us to make pandesal or bread.
Yes.
And as you can see from the pictures, she made ube bread
Wow.
with cheese inside. Or no, ube with cheese inside. It was very
Nice.
delicious. I promise you, as soon as it touched the table, everyone grabbed one. And it was gone.
It was gone. Oh,
It
there's
was-
and there's the local congregation Salinas. Looks like a great event. And then lastly, I do believe we have one other activity this past. It was from the San Jose Cadiwas that sponsored a get together, and this happened Saturday, March 8th. So Cadiwas sponsored it, but it looks like the whole locale of San Jose were able to have fun in their get together, just socializing event. Looks like great food too. I think this was like International Food Day, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, Brother Glenn.
Some upcoming activities.
So yeah, Tech, we have our promos coming up, so let's take a look at those promos.
While we wait for the promos, I hope you don't mind me getting a head start. So we have our upcoming activities, also Salinas.
Nice.
Salinas CFO Cooking Challenge, as we discussed before. It's for corned beef. If you have any corned beef recipes, please put them in the chat or anything like that. Maybe give me an idea or give any of our brethren in Salinas an idea. For our next activity, we have our District Kadiwa Pet Appreciation. For any of our pet lovers there, be sure to bring your dog or cat or hamster. All is welcome.
I think goldfish too.
Oh, goldfish too. It's on the flyer. Yeah, hedgehogs, parrots, whatever.
A
Like in the
turtle.
flyer. And for our next activity, we also have our Binhi Officers Recruitment Drive on March 30th. For anyone interested in becoming a Binhi officer, please come through.
For sure. And then now, our time is really short, but we first want to do a quick ways to tune in and ways to keep up with our church media. We have our YouTube at INCRadio DZEM 954, and then we can share the link, and our social media, Iglesia Ni Cristo News and Updates on Facebook, and we also have our Instagram handle at INC News and Updates.
All right. So before we wrap up, any last shout outs from our new face for today, Brother Ian, who we hope to see more of.
Yes.
Anything shout out, greetings to anybody?
It was a pleasure. It's always fun Friday night to talk about tech and AI.
Nice. Thank you for coming.
All right, and so we would like to give our thanks to our church administration, to our executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and to our CEBSI CEO and Christian Family Organization Coordinator, Brother Angelo Manalo. We thank you for this platform that we're able to share some great topics with our fellow brethren, and to our Silicon Valley district staff, to our district supervising minister, Ka Noel S. Gassman, our assistant district supervising minister, Ka Alex Onyate, our CFO overseer, Ka Mark Anthony Manuel, and to our multimedia advisor, Ka Francis Valencia. And from INC Radio Kuya Tech. Thank you as always, Brother Manly Andaya and Brother Wally Tarai, our station manager. And we thank you so much. And of course, this wraps it up for us for tonight. It went by really quick. And so we hope to see you all again here at INC Radio, Silicon Valley, California, every Friday nights at 10 p.m. See you next week.
Woo.